This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man? Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 14 in the National Football League. New York Football Giants taking on the Tennessee Titans. Giants looking to avenge that heartbreaking loss a week ago at Jacksonville, being up 21 to love in that game, finding a way to lose 25-24. They're in the AFC South again on the road, this time at Tennessee. Titans, really bad football team. Not a lot to look forward to for the remaining games in this season. So the only silver lining in this cloud is that Zach Mettenberger is playing, and that wouldn't last very long in this game. Let's jump into this one quickly. Giants come into the game at 3-9, looking to get out of the basement in the NFC East. Meanwhile, Titans at 2-10, just looking for a win. Eli starts the game off 9 of 11 for over $130 and finds ODB. Shame on you if you step toot the old dirty back gum. And ODB getting it done once again, over 100 yards in the first half. This guy is the truth. I said that coming out in the draft, that he would be the most polished route runner, best set of hands coming into the NFL in that draft. And that draft was loaded at receiver. As you've seen this season, he might be the best of the bunch when it's all said and done. He shredded this Titans secondary, and you kind of figured it would happen. And so Giants hop out to a 10-0 lead after the first 2 possessions of the game. I looked at Zach Mettenberger and I said, okay, I'm really going to start evaluating you, because if you're the Titans, you don't have time to waste. I mean, you don't have time. And I already told you, your VP is talking crazy. He wants playoffs next year. Playoffs? Playoffs? This is hope the Titans can win another game. And so he's talking crazy. And in order to talk crazy like that, you need a quarterback. And right now, I can tell you, after watching Zach Mettenberger closely, I'm not sold. And I'm going to tell you what, he's starting to show what I like to call a bad case of BQS. And you never want to see, and we've seen some quarterbacks around the league show the signs of BQS. And BQS is a deadly syndrome that will take your quarterback and reduce him to next to nothing. And BQS is simply battered quarterback syndrome. You don't want to see it. And when you get hit too often, when you don't trust what's in front of you, you start seeing ghosts. You start holding on to the ball too long. You start taking sacks. You start running into sacks. You're not decisive in the pocket. You're very skittish. I'm seeing that from Zach Mettenberger now. I mean, the first 2 possessions, I thought he took a bad sack on the second possession. Or excuse me, the second possession of the game, he took a bad sack. Third possession of the game, he holds on to the ball way too long, takes a sack, fumbles without even getting hit. It's scooped up by Kuhn, a defensive lineman for the Giants. He runs it in, scoop and score style. It's 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. Keep in mind, neither one of your starting tackles in this game are starting for the Titans. So he's got some unfamiliar faces in front of him, but I think he's starting to see that I don't know if I can be protected by these guys. Don't know if I can trust them or not. He's starting to see ghosts. He's starting to see, flashes of light, a couple of shadows running around. Guys aren't even there, but he's not focusing on the play down the field. He's focusing on the trash around him, and that's a bad omen for a young quarterback in this league. And so it got ugly quick. It was 23-0 at the halftime break. Then third quarter, the G-men come right out. 49-yard Andre Williams touchdown scamper makes it 30-0 at this point. You saw where this was going. To make matters worse, to add injury to insult, Zach Mettenberger goes down and you get some more locker, and he throws an interception when he comes in. And basically what I took from this game is I said, hey, if I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, I'm not, but I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. I don't want want to see another quarterback that can't finish a game. I don't want to see a quarterback that's questionable, that we don't know if he's going to play or not because he's banged up. I don't want to see a guy that can't stay healthy and perform for me on a week in, week out basis, because we've just dealt with that for the last 3-4 seasons with Jake Locker. I don't want to go down that road again. So if I'm a Titans fan, I'm like, hey, let's just go ahead, see if we can't get us a quarterback in the first round this year. And I don't know what it's going to take for you to get that #1 overall selection, but if you do wind up with that, you got to think long and hard about taking Marcus Mariota and keeping it moving. You've definitely got to give that some thought. So we'll see what happens, but Titans drubbed at home 36-7 in this game. Not pretty. Hasn't been pretty all season long for the Titans. For the Giants, way to get off the schneid. You're now 4-9, and you're out of the cellar in the NFC East, as now the Redskins hold the basement spot at 3-10. You're now 4-9 on the season, and you get those same Redskins at home, probably have a chance to get another W. So there you go. If you're the Giants, you could walk into a 2-game winning streak. Should have been 3. Should have beat Jacksonville last week 2. But doesn't matter. It's all said and done. Get the victory 36-7. Get off the schneid. Snap that ugly 7-game losing streak. Now Giants can breathe a sigh of relief. That's going to do it for Giants Titans. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me, as I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 14 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.